Hello folks, and welcome back to Canada's Boxing channel. So I was going to talk in my next video about the upcoming Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, Fists of Fury, something to do with Fury, in New York Times Square, it'll be Friday evening, my time. And then, of course, the following day, we've got the Canelo Shul fight in Saudi Arabia. They're all linked together with this Fists of Fury. It's not Fists of Fury. Fists of Fury is a Bruce Lee movie. I'm dating myself. I watched Fists of Fury. Anyhow, this thing, to call it by its proper name, is Fatal Fury. Though I never like to use the word fatal with respect to a boxing match. Call me weird. I don't really want to see anybody on a slab. You know, hey. But anyhow, it was the Fury thing. And I thought, I must talk to folks about one of my favorite boxers. Well, not really one of my favorites, but, you know. Anyhow, Tyson Fury. It's been reported on his social media, Instagram or X. Not that it matters. I think it's Instagram. And also reported by G-Man, who I follow here on YouTube, that Tyson Fury is back in training. And I don't mean your local pub pounding ales, I mean boxing training. He released something on his social medias, like I say, where he's back in training. And then he says, oh, and look who I've run into. And it's none other than Sugar Hill Steward, his trainer. Or erstwhile trainer, I suppose. I guess if you're retired, you don't have a trainer. So, is that teasing us? Now, you could say, oh, well, look, Sugar Hill's got every right to be in the UK. He could have been there on other business, etc., so forth. Indeed, he could. He could have been there as a tourist. Could have been down the local chippy in Morecambe Bay and having fish and chips. I think, however, that this is not a coincidental meeting. I don't believe that Sugar Hill Steward has any fighters who are fighting in the UK upcoming. Now, of course, it's not going to be the only thing that he might travel to a country for. Like I say, he could have gone for fish and chips. But to be in the same gym as Tyson Fury on the same day, maybe this is teasing us that Tyson Fury is making yet another comeback. Because he's retired 5 times. So, you know. And when he last retired, it was a little sort of cell phone Insta thing in his car. I think that when he retires for good, it'll be something more like a dinner thing, maybe a boxing awards show. There'll be a bit of fanfare. He's not likely to slink away. He's more likely to go out with some fanfare, and rightly so. I mean, British champion, Commonwealth champion, world champion, held all the belts at various times, and arguably the best British boxer of his generation. The only challenger to that title would be none other than Anthony Joshua. And I know that there's going to be a big chunk of British fans who say, bullshit, Joshua's nowhere near as good as Fury. And there's going to be another chunk of British fans who say, bullshit, Fury's nowhere near as good as AJ. I did a video actually comparing the two resumes. And it came down to be not too much difference between the professional resumes, and then AJ had the better amateur pedigree. But, you know, you could make a case either which way, right? I came down on the side that AJ had the better resume. But, of course, one thing that's not been settled, because resumes are resumes, right? Was Joe Louis better than Muhammad Ali? Right? Resume. Because people never fight, you don't know. And because AJ and Fury, or Fury and AJ, have never fought, that argument about who was the best of their generation will carry on. Now, of course, the fight is overdue. It's like bacon that's gone bad. You know, you can kind of cut the green bits off and fry it up and it's sort of still baconish, but it's not prime, right? You can tell I grew up poor because, you know, I'm sure that kids these days don't do that. But anyhow, whatever. I would like to see, as you all know, I've said it before, I would like to see Fury and AJ. It just puts a period at the end of the sentence. It doesn't really satisfy anybody because they should have fought 2 or 3 times, you know, maybe when they were sort of, you know, say, what do you say? 2016, 2017, 2018 would have been good. Then maybe fight again in like 2022, and now the rubber match in 2025. And then you would have been able to say, yes, well, this guy or this guy. But fighting once only, or even if they fight twice in 2025, I think we would all agree that both are past their best. So maybe this is teasing us. I can't imagine Fury coming back for anything else. By the way, when I say best fighter of their generation, I obviously don't include Dubois, because Dubois is the younger generation, right? Likewise, Moses Itomo is a younger, well, he's younger again, anyhow. I'm talking about that sort of cohort, you know, Wilder, Fury, Joyce, Zhang, AJ, you know, and then of course the Brits really are headed by AJ and Fury, right? Fury and AJ. So maybe we will get to see this fight. The money is clearly there. It may not be as big a seller as it would have been, but it would still sell out Wembley Stadium, I would imagine. Or if not Wembley, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You know, maybe if they don't get 90,000, they'd get 60,000. A lot of pay-per-view. And this side of the pond, they're well known. They're the 2 best known British fighters. This side of the pond. Will it happen? Oh my God, your guess is as good as mine. I can't see any fight for either of them, to be honest. Though, I would like to see Tyson Fury have a warm-up fight. And I've got a new favourite fighter for Tyson Fury to fight as a warm-up fight. George, the future Fox. If you saw my previous video where I was lambasting Don Charles and his son Fox, you will understand why I'd like to see Tyson Fury have a warm-up fight against him. Anyhow, that's just a little bit of jocularity. Shouldn't really laugh at my own jokes. I think I'm hilarious, but my significant other actually doesn't, so there's no reason why any of you should either. So what do you think? Do you think this is indicia of Tyson Fury making a comeback? Do you think that he's just messing with us? Or do you, probably like most people who watch this channel, would say, don't really give a shit, it's too late. Let me know in the comments section. Please like, please subscribe, please share. Have a fabulous day, evening, night, wherever it is in your time zone. And then let's all turn our collective minds to this upcoming weekend. Fatal Fury, with hopefully no fatalities. I'll be doing some videos about this Times Square event, and of course the Riyadh event with Canelo as well. And hopefully we'll get to see some good fights. Interesting how, you know, when I was down in LA and I was talking to people about the Eubank Ben fight, and it's like blank expressions. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. You mentioned Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, everyone's like, oh yeah, they're fighting this weekend. You know, guess it's it depends. Location, hey? Okay, folks, thanks so much for watching. See you on the next one.